Pastor Jack Hibbs joins us now to discuss California Assembly Bill 495. Now, Pastor, you've called this bill, quote, the most dangerous bill we've ever seen. And you've actually encouraged California residents, with, both you and I are that, to leave the state if this bill passes. So let's start with this. What is this bill?
Yeah, first of all, that was, Raj, probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to sincerely say to the church is that if this bill passes, you've got to leave. For your own child's protection, you have to leave. So I have before me, Raj, the entire affidavit. This is the document that will become available on the state's website to print out and print out by an individual, non-related individual, who all they need to know is the name of the child. And what they do is that they fill out the affidavit. There's a question that is asked of them. Have you tried to reach the parents? Yes or no? They would, of course, check the box as to being yes. And I'll tell you the reason why in a moment. The school then gets that child, brings the child out of class, and puts them into the possession of this individual based on the affidavit, which is by the state of California. The school authorities cannot refuse the individual property of the child. They do not request driver's license, birth certificate, background check. Where do you live, sir or ma'am? Who are you? None of that is asked. It's all declared by the author, Celeste Rodriguez, to protect the individual and the child from ICE and from Trump's immigration efforts. It's actually an anti-Trump, pro-trafficking bill, all wrapped up in the guise of it is a compassionate bill to protect a child from parents who, during the day of school hours, was taken captive by Trump's ICE. The poor kid has nobody in life. So this individual knows that, true or not true, going to the school, taking possession of the child. And listen to this, Raj, it says in the document that this person automatically, once they have possession of the child, they are also responsible for the authorization of any medical treatment or any medical needs that the child may have. Why is that written in there? So to tell you how bad this is, we've got a score of attorneys looking at it, and they're no small group of attorneys. They said, Jack, normally the devil is in the details. The devilish part about this bill is that it's so vague and so wide open, there are no details, except it is a pedophile human trafficker's dream come true.
Well, that's the thing. I try to stay objective, but I can't help but just call this thing stupid. I mean, how could they not have the foresight or the wherewithal to put some clause in there that no, just some random person can't swoop up your child? I mean, this just seems almost negligent. I mean, not almost. This is negligence. You can just do this. So the question is, Pastor Jack, what can Christians, obviously in California, but also not in California, what can we be doing to fight this?
Well, number one, here's the reality. It has, because California has a supermajority Democrat control of everything, these things don't need to go to the people for vote. This is not something that California voter was even aware of. I blew the whistle on this about 3 weeks ago. That said, here's what the California citizen, parent must do. Is as it's going through committee, it's passing all along the way. It's going to go to Newsom next week. That's why we're asking everybody in the state of California, we want a minimum of 5,000 people to show up on August 19th. That's a Tuesday. At about 11 o'clock in the noontime, and we are going to be holding a rally with attorneys and with special guest speakers from the Capitol steps. Friends, all you need to do is come and stand there. That's what we want. We just want your happy face and your body to stand there because, listen, here's how it works. We know this. We've been doing this for 36 years. That when they see a crowd, they get nervous. And Newsom himself has been known to back away from a bill if he views it as hostile to his future career. Here's the good thing, Raj, for California. Newsom has presidential aspirations in 2028.
Yes, he
we
does.
will make sure that he owns this bill. If he signs this bill, We will launch a campaign to let the rest of the nation know this is the kind of man he is. And what can we do? If we stand and he doesn't sign the bill, then it will be a victory for the safety of California's children. And I had an attorney tell me recently, this is very unnerving, Raj. After the attorney studied the bill, she told me, she said, listen, it's not just public school kids. This is so vague that somebody could come into a daycare center and extract your child. Somebody could attempt to do it to a private school or a Christian school. They may not prevail at a Christian school, but they can make the attempt.
Okay, so maybe I should have started with this, which is the idea. Let's just call this the simplest English we possibly can. Let me see if I understand this correctly. Some random person can just take this sheet, walk into my kid's school, you know, I have a bunch of littles, and then just take them. Am I missing something?
You're not missing anything. And the ruse is all under this this cloud. This individual has come to the school with this affidavit, which is directly connected to the Protection of Family Act, which is this, and the author said so. You can watch her online. She said it is to protect children from ICE and from Trump's immigration issues that are going on in California, so the child can be taken away to safety to a person who has no identification needing to be proven, no background check. It could be anybody, even non-related individual. So think about that. God forbid, I could be a bad guy, Raj, go to your kid's school and say, here's the affidavit from the state of California. I'm here to provide protection for this child. I'm asking the child to come with me now. They cannot withhold the child from going into this man's custody. And then you go to pick up your kid that day at school and they're not there anymore. They were lied to. The school system was lied to. They complied with a very bad law. And where's your child? In Tijuana? Where's your child? In Costa Rica?
Oof, that's scary.
Within 8 hours, where is your child? The burden will be upon you, mom and dad, to try to figure out on your own, where did your kid go?
As parents of 3 little ones, this has definitely given my wife and I some pause living here in San Diego. But you know, Pastor, you've always been someone who just says the truth. You say it like it is. And you actually have a new book coming out about taking a bold stand. I know you're really busy, but if you could just tell us briefly what that's about.
Yeah, it's called Time to Take a Bold Stand. I had no idea that Newsom and the California legislature would make such stupid ideas that would help promote the sale of the book. But it's already reached the top 14 on Amazon pre-order purchases. So I encourage everybody to get it. But it turns out to be prophetic. That it's time to take a bold stand, because if we don't, listen, apathy kills people, and especially in the church. If we have some sort of disengagement policy, that is called apathy, and that is called surrendering. And the Bible, listen, 2 Corinthians, this is not 2 Chronicles. 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 6 says that by our obedience to Christ, we are called to punish all disobedience. Then shall our obedience be spoken of. Wow. This is Paul the Apostle telling the Greeks in Corinth, you better stand up for what's right, because if you don't, evil's going to prevail. We cannot let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. And I sure hope people do not have to leave the state of California because the Democrat majority got their way. That would be a shame.
Pastor Jack Hibbs, you are one of one, my friend. God bless.
God bless you, brother. Love you, Raj.